Evening, everyone. How are we doing today? Sorry, I'm just readjusting the camera. Okay, so I came home and a package was waiting for me. So I'm pretty sure what it was when I saw it, and I was like, "Well, that's interesting." And it's actually two gold labeled CGC books, and I haven't done a CGC Guess That Grade in months, and even more months since I did maybe my last CGC Guess That Grade was the gold label. Okay, so there's two in this box, and I know because there's two of them that I know what they are. Sorry, I'm trying to get them out of the package without actually looking at it, because I don't want to ruin the surprise. Okay. Now I know they're both gold labeled because I glanced over at them. Okay, I think I'm good. I think I'm ready. Okay. So these gold labels were signed by David Michelinie. David Michelinie is a really nice guy. I enjoyed meeting him. And honestly, if you get any comic book that you can get signed by David Michelinie, even if you're not going to submit it for CGC grading, it's actually worth it to get him to sign anything for you, because he actually donates all his proceeds to charity. 100% donates his proceeds to charity. He just goes to conventions, makes money, and then donates it all. And he usually donates it to like Humane Society. So he's a genuinely nice guy, and I would support this, like getting David Michelinie to sign anything. I got two books signed by him. One of the books, the moment I saw it, I was like, this is probably going to be a gold label someday, because one day I'm going to get it signed just because I like the cover. And you'll see, okay. You'll see which one. And one is like the most signed foil, because it's a foil cover. It's probably the most signed foil you'll ever see in... We'll see which one I get first. I'm just pulling it out blind. Okay. Alright. Okay, this is actually the one where I like the cover. You'll see David Michelinie's signature right over the S. Or, I'm sorry, that's a J. And this is just Superman. Joker wearing Superman costume. And I looked inside the book, and he actually does, in this story run, he actually does wear the Superman costume in here. So it says, the joke's on you. The joke's on you. Alright, guessing the grade. Not a lot of spine ticks on it. I think we're looking at about a 9. So let's see. A 9.8. That's a perfect... The only thing better than this would be a 10, which they do happen. I've never had one. And usually when people are signing, like getting stuff like this signed, usually when people are trying to get the comic books that are graded, they're going to stop at a 9.8. They usually won't. You'll never really see a perfect 10. So, and again, this one, Action Comics 714, printed back in October of 95, signed by David Michelinie. It was signed 11/8/2024, so back in November of last year. Funny thing is, if I encounter, and I honestly would like to get the artist to do the cover art. There, it was Chiron Dower. I'm sorry, I'm terrible with last names. And Dennis Roder. If I'm ever at another convention where one of these are at, what I could do is usually the CGC witnesses will break the slab, and they'll witness the breaking of the slab, then they'll witness the second signing, and then you'll send it off again. And they'll keep all the information when they send it off. So they'll be like, oh, okay, it came in with the original. So then when they regrade it, it'll say, like, David Michelinie signed and did that. I might do that again. Not a bad book. Pretty good wall hanger. Again, not a very high demand for this particular book, but again, the cover looks cool. The moment I saw this cover, I was like, yeah, I'm probably going to get this graded. It's going to be, again, what I do is I have like a stack of comics where when I know there's somebody that's going to be there for a signing, I can just flip through and pick out a comic book at will and have it signed. So this was my default David Michelinie that I had picked. And there was another one. Okay, now, here is where we get into the realm of not a 9. I know this one ain't going to be a 9, but this is like one of the most, I almost think this is one of the most signed foil. Because I see everyone putting this in, like when I was getting this one signed, I saw probably 2 or 3 other copies of this exact book. And it is this Venom Lethal Protector #1. You can see David Michelinie's signature on Venom's shoulder. Again, mine has a pretty bad spine tick right there. You can just see it. The foil really shows it. But again, this is it's a really good cover. People like this cover. There is a black variant of this cover where it was a printing error. So you get a black foil behind Venom, and that's more rare. And that's probably the one that everyone would want. But this one being a gold label is pretty cool. Now, because it has such a bad spine tick, and that right side, right there, above the Marvel, there's a lot of stuff there. So, cool to get signed. Not going to be in the best condition, but it's going to be signed. So, that's not bad. I'm going to say 7.5. Oh, right on the money. 7.5. It's not bad because I knew it going in that this book was not in the best condition. Usually when they're getting your book, they'll say, okay, do you want to press on it? Do you want to get this press? Sometimes you know the book is like, when you send a book out, you're like, it's not worth the press. And on both of these books, I'm like, on the Venom book, I knew pressing wouldn't fix the defects on the corners. And pressing wouldn't have helped the defects on the corners. On the Joker book, it's not a key, it just has a really cool cover, and not many people would be clamoring for it. So neither one of them got a press because I didn't think either one of them was worth the extra money to get pressed. Because a nice gold label is pretty cool. And gold labels technically are better than blue labels. They're probably the only thing that are better than blue labels. And I'm pretty sure when I set these in front of David Michelinie, he thought I was going to be a guy who would get these signed and sell them the next day. He thinks I'm going to sell them tomorrow, and I'm not going to. These are cherished possessions. They're something that reminds me of the time I met a really cool guy who does this kind of stuff for cats. And honestly, a guy who's willing to donate money to cats or dogs, for that matter. Anyone who donates their good time, effort, and money to, cats, I respect, and I would not. I'm not going to put these on eBay. I never do. I just like David Michelinie. He was an awesome guy to talk to. It was kind of funny because, when I met him, I believe it was on a Friday, and that Saturday, when I met him, earlier in the week, I was wearing a shirt that has a cat on it that says Catzilla, and it's just it's kind of like Godzilla, but a cat. And it just shows this cat above a cityscape going rawr, as Godzilla sometimes does. And I wore it earlier in the week. If I knew David Michelinie was going to wear what, because I walked up, saw it, and I'm like, dude, I just wore that shirt earlier in the week. And I told him about it. He's like, dude, and he's like, dang, that's just unlucky. He's like, if you wore that shirt, I would have posed for a picture with you. So, two things about me people don't know. I like cats, and I like Godzilla. And again, I like dogs. I like most creatures where they don't attack you, I'm okay with them. I like friendly animals. Cats are friendly, dogs are friendly. Then I like those animals. Meeting David Michelinie and having him donate money to charity, that's something I appreciate. I think it's cool that he just... I think most people who do the conventions, I'm not trying to criticize people who do conventions, but it's awesome to know there's a guy out there who just... It's awesome to know that there are people out there who, they make a lot of money, but they care about causes, they care about people, they care about the world. They want to make the world a better place, and I respect that. So, and again, yes, meeting David Michelinie was really cool. I think there's a very, very good chance I could probably get this double signed by Mark Bagley. I've met Mark Bagley before. I think I have 4 gold labels. 3 of them are in my possession. The 4th is out there. I know where it is. It's coming. It's kind of funny because these were signed before that one is, but it's in a safe location. I just can't get at it. So, and I don't know what the grade is. It's going to be fun when we find it. But the 4 ones I have, well, I'm not going to tell you what the 4th one is because I want it to be a surprise. There's these 2, and then there's the Mark Bagley one where it's the green foily one. If I meet Mark Bagley again, there's a good chance I'll get this one signed. And while I'm breaking slabs for a convention, if it's something I can do, I also have a first appearance Carnage that people have seen. I wouldn't be against getting first appearance Carnage signed. That's one that's also signed frequently by either Michelinie or Bagley. I swear I saw so many first appearance Carnages when I was turning these in. So maybe you'll see these comic books again with new gold labels on them. Who knows? But again, a really pleasant surprise seeing these, getting these 2 comics in. Again, if David Michelinie is watching this, thank you again. I hope you raised a lot of money to help the cats, because cats are cool. I love them. And don't worry, they're staying with me. They're mine. So yes, I'm going to keep these in. I'm going to keep these to celebrate meeting a really awesome member of the comic book community. And a 9.8. That's, again, can't be better. Can't beat that. I drink to that. Tastes like victory. Okay, so that's about it. More CGCs. I actually did good on Guess the Grade. I mean, I thought this one was a lower grade than it was. Technically, I said a 9. A 9.8 is actually, I got the grade wrong, but I got the best grade possible. Within reason. And I got this really cool joke. I feel like even when I get the grades wrong, if it's something like this, I'm still winning. Guess the Venom grade perfectly. So, overall, I'd say the night has been an overwhelming success. And it's kind of funny, I a video where there was only 2 books into a 15-minute video, so that's pretty awesome. I hope you guys enjoyed. Again, good books. And again, thank you, David Michelinie. All right, have a good evening.